Hi, I'm Josan Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational system. And what we are working on in these talks is finding tools and methods that we can increase our children's self esteem. And I call them powerful mindset builders, these tools. And one of these is encouragement. And so this past week, we've been looking at the different component parts of encouragement, like perseverance, self confidence. Um, we looked at courage, which is a big component part of encouragement, inspiration, and hope. So today, perseverance in particular is something that I really didn't expect to have this much material on this particular component part, but it has turned into quite an amazing and an interesting piece to look at. First of all, it this study has illuminated that perseverance is a powerful tool toward the concept of encouragement. And to take encouragement out of that, it's sometimes relegated as, oh, that's a good job. It goes farther than just, that momentary praise that we might give a child as they're working towards their specific task. But what I looked at is that when I do this research, it keeps coming back to me the things that we did in our classroom, which I'll get to a little later. But perseverance really became a little bit more crystal clear to me, its impact, as I've read articles like this one by Tim Dingle that I'll talk about today. His article was called, it's on LinkedIn, and I'll give you the uh, site. I cited the link in my description box. It's called The Real Secret of Perseverance and Discipline, which I highly recommend. It just had so many great ideas. But he stated that perseverance and discipline separated the winners from the losers. Now, that was a bold assertion, but it made sense. As I went on to read, he too identified dopamine as being those levels being higher in high achievers. Eh, the thing that was interesting to me was that he went on to suggest that dopamine could be harnessed, but not like the previous articles that I've been reading. His thought was that by looking at hard work differently, he says that hard work is actually a vehicle to get the reward of dopamine. And because dopamine is called the reward molecule. And for many years, scientists have looked at dopamine as a neurotransmitter that's connected with positive behavior reinforcement when you accomplish a goal. And so Mr. Dingle's suggestion is that we all have an ability to harness dopamine by changing our behavior and our attitudes toward hard work. But that takes discipline. And Jim Rohn, who was an entrepreneur, an author, and a motivational speaker that people like Tony Robbins, really were influenced by, stated that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. Without discipline, we can't reach the accomplishment. So Mr. Dingle stated that by refusing to be overcome by whatever's staring back at you, by using discipline, you can achieve higher and higher goals. So his idea was that we keep dopamine bursts going through our mind and our system throughout the day by tackling hard work throughout the day. So he makes a success list and instead of a to-do list. And he tackles one piece of his success list at a time, getting little bursts of dopamine like, hey, I did that. It was another step toward my goal. And this regular activity and putting within that list things that really needed to, like I had one friend said, eat the biggest frog first. You tackle those things, maybe chunking them into pieces, but you tackle those really large goals too, and you get your dopamine burst as you move towards the higher level of achievement that you had focused in your focus. So his suggestion I find is sound. So the whole thing is when we accomplish a goal, we get the benefit of the dopamine based sense of accomplishment and contentment and satisfaction that really accompanies every act of persevering. So I saw this easily translated into the daily routine that I had for my class. I had a visual schedule set up on the board of everything that we were doing, the main subjects that we were tackling, and also our recess and lunch, and maybe one activity that was different for the day, like art or science. But I had a similar, smaller visual list schedule on each child's desk, and that one related to their IEP goals. And they might have had writing my name or spelling words, 5 times. So they might have had a specific goal with that connected with my larger goal, but the benefit of having this on their desk, and it was a paper schedule, they could just draw an X through each thing that they accomplished, and they loved doing that, and they could see that that list was getting smaller throughout the day, and that in itself was something of a reward. But I would even take it further, and I would say once you finish 3 of your listed items, you get to take a break, and you could choose and in the beginning of the day, they chose what their first break activity was, and I had a wonderful one-on-one who created a chart, a board, and it had, like, 5 treats that the child or you know, rewards that the child could have. And they didn't have to be edibles, but it could be something like extra recess time, or it could be having time to read a book, or it could be just listening to music. It was that child's preference. So his choices or her choices became the reward of achieving that list of tasks. So, y the best part of what we can do with perseverance is to show the child that this is actually a fun thing, and each day they are gaining more and more skills and abilities by persevering. And having that success list or that visual chart every day, it was our routine. And I think that actually made persevering real to my students. So please share, subscribe, and I will see you next time and have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.